Absolutely. I mean, I train fasted every time, and most of the advice you get, particularly for women, is to not train fasted. And I kind of say, well, why not? Because I feel great on it. So I go to the gym and lift weights for an hour and a half twice a week in the morning, first thing, and then at least one time after that, I'll go for a 5K run. I might get some shopping, go home, get a shower, and then eat. So there's just, and I don't feel hungry even at that point. I do eat because I know I need to eat, but it's not, the energy doesn't drop, and there's actually enough fat even on a lean athlete to run at least a marathon. There's a misperception about how much fat we need, to be able to burn through. Yes, obviously we don't want to do that every day or anything. We want to look after ourselves and feed ourselves properly, but we do have this huge inbuilt resource of fuel that's there to tide us over. If we were a hunter and gatherer and we hadn't eaten for 2 days, we'd have to go and chase, some prey down. We'd have to run in a ketotic state using ketones as our fuel. Otherwise, we would have died out.
Yeah, you brought that up earlier, which by the way, I thought this was a great argument because I've always wondered the same thing. You said from an evolutionary perspective, how would we have been putting salt on everything? Totally agree with that. Probably a lot of our stuff would have had more minerals in it just because it grew in the soil, but totally fair point. To the same kind of thought process there, I think what people don't understand because they're not really thinking it through is like, how would you and I have even made it here today if our ancestors had not been able to survive through some level of famine or some level of not having 24/7 access to food? That is a very unique and modern thing. So even if some humans were supposed to get food 24/7, I don't mean this so brutally, but unfortunately, they probably would have never made it